Welcome along to episode 736 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. And coming up on the show this week, we'll be having a natter with Adam Henson. You know him from Countryfile. He also has the Cotswold Park Farm. We'll be finding out about their Summer Flair Festival. Jean-Christofe Novelli has a natter about his world of cookery, has a bump to hint to him, and Masterchef finalist who we're also talking to, Pookie, over at the Malvern Three Counties Showground for their food and drink festival over the weekend. We'll be having a natter with Will Dorrell over at Who, Zoo and Dinosaur World, all about their activities this summer. And we're joined by Michelle Heaton from Liberty X as we talk about keeping the kids entertained and the competitions in the family. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
With the summer months ahead of us, Who, Zoo and Dinosaur World have got loads going on. The fellow who's actually zookeeper to the dinosaurs is Will Dorrell, who joins me now. Hello, sir.
Hi, Jason. How are you doing?
I'm good. I hope you're finding you well, and the fact that you've given yourself the most difficult creatures to deal with, obviously from all of the zookeepers down there. Obviously, you must be the hardest worked.
Oh, I tell you what, the one good thing about my job though is there's a whole film franchise built around what not to do. So it actually makes things surprisingly easy.
And the instructional videos online have been a significant help. But obviously, since you've had the dinosaurs down there alongside the wonderful array of animals that live in the zoo, I know it's been a boon to visit them, and you're keeping busy, and you've been having some fun over the last few weeks.
Yes, we've well, like you said, it's always trying to think of something different to keep people entertained and obviously also to keep ourselves on our toes as well. So yeah, we've got lots of different things coming up over the summer, and yeah, like you said, we've had a busy few weeks with we had Nigel Marvin down here, who some people remember from Walking with Dinosaurs. He was doing an event not too long ago, and yeah, other bits and bobs going on.
Okay, so the summer holidays are upon us, which means I say you're going to have families from across the Midlands heading over to Telford every day of the week. And I know from personal experience what a great site it actually is. I mean, everything from the lorikeets, which are amazing to go through the walk-through enclosure there, through to the cats of various varieties, including some that are a little more domesticated, who will follow me around when I was having my sandwiches, to everything else in between besides, and various sizes. There's something for everybody.
Yeah, there is. I mean, that's really kind of, you sort of hit the nail on the head there. We try to be as diverse and really sort of make sure we've got something for all the family, really. I mean, obviously the dinosaurs are probably what we're best known for now. It's literally in our name. We consider ourselves and have been considered by other people, including Nigel Marvin, to have one of the best dinosaur walkthroughs in the country. And then, like you said, we've also got other fantastic real walkthrough enclosures with things like the lorikeets, the wallabies, the lemurs, and then obviously a lot of other animals that you can just look at or go to talks about. Things like our big cats, the caracal, the lynx, and the bobcats, and obviously everybody loves meerkats, don't they? So there's plenty of them. So yeah, we really try and have as much for the whole family as possible.
Yeah, but I think you mentioned there though the lemurs, and I was amazed how interactive that was. Not only for those who obviously upgraded to the animal zookeeper type experience, but for everybody else as well. They wanted to be part of it. Those are very furry friendly creatures down there.
Oh yeah, they are definitely. Yeah, I mean, you sort of touched upon it there. We do obviously VIP experiences with sort of the variety of the animals, and the lemurs are, for understandable reasons, one of the most popular. But yeah, even just for sort of general visitors going in there, the lemurs, we have a no touching rule that people can't touch the lemurs, but unfortunately the lemurs don't tend to get that memo. So yeah, it's quite often that we're having to sort of usher them off people's shoulders and stuff like that, which is obviously great for the people going through there. So yeah, like you said, they really are. We're very, very lucky with the particular bunch we've got, are really, really interactive and friendly as well. I mean, that's obviously an important thing. You don't want them to be interactive but unfriendly. So you need to have that balance.
It's a nice sized park to walk around as well, and you've even got some traditional domesticated farm animals as well.
We do, yeah. So we've still got, obviously a lot of people remember us as Who Farm. We were Who Farm for 30 years of our life, first as Who Farm Country Park and then Who Farm Animal Kingdom. And we don't ever want to let go of those roots. So we have got some, still of the good old bog standard farm animals, things like sheep, goats, slightly more unusual farm animals like llamas. We still have pigs. We don't have any cows any longer. We did decide to move the cows on a few years ago. But yeah, we still got those farm animals, and pretty much all of them you can feed as well. I mean, we sell pots of food that people can get and go and hand feed the sheep and hand feed the goats. And out of all of the sort of fantastic animals that we've got here and the dinosaurs and all that sort of stuff, it's still, for a lot of kids, it's still probably the funnest part of their day is hand feeding sheep. Which is like, I mean, obviously, I think sometimes as an adult we kind of forget those sort of like simple things, really.
And I think it's for good kids and adults, there is something that they will absolutely love when they walk through the place. For me, I think my favorite was the dinosaurs, but it's when you're putting a park together like this, and particularly as a family-run thing. I mean, your family must enjoy playing there still too.
Yeah, I mean, we are. As you said, we're three generations now. So, so my parents opened the zoo originally. I've literally spent my whole life here, I've grown up here, and yeah, we've got, my wife and I've got two young kids as well now who love going around the animals, love the dinosaurs. We do have a bit of a difficult time at times explaining to them that this is not normal. But unfortunately, we seem to touch wood be managing to keep them grounded at the moment, realizing that this isn't the norm. Yeah, I mean, it is. I think you've sort of hit the nail on the head there. That's sort of something that we really try to push towards, is being that family orientated. We're not a big corporate business. We're not, not there's anything wrong with any of the sort of big zoos and stuff like that, but we still want to retain that family run feel. And 9 times out of 10, if you email, your email, or you ring, or you ask to speak to somebody, you're dealing with one of the owners, and usually me, but you're dealing with one of us. So it means that we manage to sort of keep our finger on the pulse and really, hopefully, as far as we feel, retain that spirit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I say you're a go-to for schools throughout our area as an educational experience during term time. During the summer and the weekends, this is when everybody else is down there for family experiences, and just a chance to meander around and enjoy the breathtaking views across the site is alongside the animals is good. And I know that you do love the birds that you got down there, the owl in particular being one of your favourites.
Yes, yeah. I wondered how long it'd take you to bring that up. Yeah. I mean, I always say, whenever people ask who my favorite animals are, I always say it's like asking who your favorite child is. Everyone's got one. You just don't admit to it, do you?
Many people have their favorite child's name tattooed on them in some place, and you've gone one step further.
Yeah, I do. I have a portrait of one of our owls tattooed on my right shoulder blade. So yeah, he that's Oscar, the European eagle owl. He's about as old as I am. He's actually a little bit older than me, a year or two older than me. So he's a very, very good age for a European eagle owl. But yeah, he was the very, very first owl that I trained. And I mean, it's not a cliche to say that he trained me more than I trained him. There was literally times that I was training him to do stuff, to sort of flying demonstrations and stuff like that, and he would look at me as if to go, no, I think you mean to do X, Y, and Z. and it would then take me a minute to realize what I'd done wrong, because he was in essence almost pointing out my flaws. So yeah, he's the only animal I've actually got a tattoo of. Yeah, touch wood, he's still in good shape. Like I said, he's very, very old for a European eagle owl, but he still goes strong.
I was slightly concerned he trained you to catch mice when he was hungry, but that's probably a whole different story. Obviously,
that's it.
Obviously, you got a great side down there. Any particular events that we need to highlight over the summer months?
Yeah, so we've got a few special events coming up. First one is August Bank Holiday weekend. We've got a big dinosaur related event, with Jurassic Park vehicles, interactive activities going on. Animatronic dinosaur suits roaming around site, and then on the Saturday night, the August Bank Holiday Saturday, in the nighttime, we're showing an interactive cinema of Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park. So there'll be live actors, moving vehicles, moving dinosaurs, all stuff like that. And then also spread throughout the summer, pretty much every Thursday during August, we have princess days. So we have some of your favorite princesses, who I won't name for copyright reasons, will be here meeting and greeting kids. And then we're also on certain days throughout the summer as well. The dates I can't remember off the top of my head, but check our website. We're doing SEN nights for families with sort of children with additional needs, so they can come when the farm's a bit quiet, with the zoo's a bit quieter, and we'll have like some of the loud noises turned off and stuff like that, and they get exclusive use of the site. So yeah, quite a few sort of different activities going on over the summer. I also forgot we have International Cat Day coming up very shortly. That's in early August, and International Wolf Day, World Wolf Day, coming up the weekend afterwards, which are both opportunities to be able to hand feed our big cats and our wolves. So we'll be selling sort of very special tickets on those days. They're available to buy on our website already, where you can feed some of the cats through the fence, and some of the wolves through the fence as well, all in aid of certain charities. So yeah, quite a lot going on. Which we're looking forward to. It's a lot to plan as well, but we're looking forward to it.
Well, yeah, talking of planning, you need to make sure you book your tickets online to make sure you're not disappointed, because you do sometimes hit capacity. In fact, you quite regularly hit capacity.
Yeah, I mean, we are, we introduced a capacity back during COVID, and then we then found that actually the experience, or the customer experience, is just that much nicer when we're not obviously bursting to the seams. So we have kept a higher capacity now, but still a capacity limit. So yeah, as you quite rightly said, there is times that we reach that, particularly on bank holidays and particularly on weekends during the holidays. So we always recommend for people to book their tickets in advance via our website. It's also the only way to guarantee a rainy day pass, which is probably quite important at the moment. Somehow we get very unseasonal weather, aren't we? So it's the only way to guarantee that you a rainy day pass. But all details about that are on our website, which is www.who-zoo.com.
So who-zoo.com, pop on there, check out, book your tickets, and go along for an amazing family day out. But it doesn't have to be family day. You can go on your own, whatever age, as long as you're old enough to be able to get in the building. Under 16s have to be accompanied, don't they?
Yeah, under 16s have to be accompanied. That's absolutely right. And yeah, we have, exactly so. We're family day out, but equally we have a lot of adults just choose to visit. Bizarrely for the dinosaurs, actually not bizarrely at all, because I go places just for the dinosaurs, so I really shouldn't comment about that. But yeah, we have a lot of adults choose to visit just on their own without kids as well. So yeah, like we said, we really there is something for all ages.
Well, worth checking out. Who, Zoo, and Dinosaur World. A fantastic family run facility. Will Dorrell, thank you as ever for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Jason.
Now, the summer holidays are upon us, which means there are a load of kids that need to be entertained. Are your kids competitive? Could they be as competitive as Michelle Heaton from Liberty X? Let's find out. Hi, Michelle. How you doing?
Hello, darling. Thank you for having me.
Well, good to have you along. And when it comes down to making sure the kids do, not cause complete havoc, but do have some fun at the same time, you're pretty much good at, sorting these things out in your house. But when it comes to playing the games alongside them, you like to win.
Well, I think everybody likes to win, right? Especially at games like bowling, what we're here to talk about, because you don't enter into something wanting to lose. But in our household, it's my husband who is very competitive, and he's one of these annoying people that wins at everything. And the survey actually shows that men predominantly are the ones that want to win and go to win, no matter how old their kids are. I don't know if that's disturbing or not, but that definitely rings true with us lot.
Yeah, well, when it comes to heading down to the Hollywood Bowl, I mean, we've got a brilliant place down at Bedley Bridge in Wolverhampton, and it is just so nice to get down there, see everybody getting involved, and whether you're going to bowl or whether you just fancy a bowl of chicken nuggets, it is good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it really is. It really is. I went there last week for my birthday, actually, on my birthday, and I took my mum, so Grandma came along, and we had such a great time. Though, although Grandma cheated totally and had the sides up, and then pushed the ball from the apparatus instead of actually throwing it. She won. And then to commiserate AJ, who was not best happy, who's 9 years old, obviously we then went to the amusement. So it wasn't just about the bowling, it was the whole experience.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it, isn't it? It's when you want to do something you want to go to that covers all bases, and whatever age the kids, as long as they're able to lift one of the kids' balls and they can use that slidey thing, which I assume is what the grandmother
I keep
was
on
cheating with.
Slidey thing. I must find out what the technical term is. The slidey thing that helps people cheat. but yeah, I think it also. Sorry to interrupt. I also find that for me, I want to enjoy myself when I do stuff with kids. I don't just want it to be what the kids want to do, because I think it's important that they see us as adults enjoying ourselves, because they feed off that.
Yeah, and you've got to be a big kid when it's all going on. But if you want to enjoy yourself, you want to have a bit of a giggle. And I think when it comes to something where you've got strange phrases like turkey and strike and stuff like that, I think that adds to it as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I got a few spares and had to articulate that to my mum. She wasn't really getting the rules at all. She was just, pushing the ball. But also we can make our own code names. Like the kids went up there and did alter ego Wonder Woman things. And then we took selfies on the camera as well, and had a right laugh. Actually keep changing the selfie per game. So that was fun.
And I think it starts to get exciting for them as soon as they have to change their shoes, because that makes bowling, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but also for me, who's a little bit of OCD, I don't like changing my shoes, and now we can wear our own trainers as well, which is music to my ears. That makes me very happy.
Yeah, and come on, you're going that regularly. You probably ought to treat yourself to a pair of bowling shoes, maybe with a bit of a Liberty X logo down the side, just for fun.
Hey, you never know. That's not a bad call, actually.
So, is it you that's worst in the family for being grumpy if the other half does win?
No, I'm kind of now, I think with age, I've just turned 44. With age comes a place where I just want everyone not to argue. And I want everybody to have fun. And if that's happened, then I've won. And the places like bowling, you can't really go wrong.
Well, I mean, of the competitive family games, it comes in only second to board games. But I think board games cause arguments. Bowling just causes a laugh.
Yeah, no, I can concur with that, absolutely, especially when you've got an 11-year-old daughter who's very manipulative at board games. But it's really nice to see that board games are coming back in fashion, as they say. Like AJ and Faith said, what do you mean? They're totally retro now, and retro just means old to me. It's always been part of my life, but it's really, really impressive now to see kids wanting to do that these days when they've got so many screens around them and everything like that. It's really difficult to pull them away from their screen time. But if you're giving them an alternative or suggestions on how to be active, then they'll take note, as long as you come with those suggestions.
Yeah, and so this is where we're nipping down the Hollywood Bowl comes in as well, because it is active. They're standing up, they're moving around, and the worst they're going to do is take a few selfies and some photos and pictures of the scoreboard with their name emblazoned off it every time it does so strike.
Exactly. Me and Faith did a little TikTok as well. So there's loads of things that you can do in there, about what the survey shown that over 50% of parents are, feeling worried about what they can do over the summer holidays and how to fill that void, not with a lot of people now going on holiday, saving money. We're up for day experiences and things that we can do nearby. So I suppose Hollywood Bowl, being so frequent and accessible and also cost effective, that it really does relate to a lot of families now.
And as we said, you can go along, you can have tea whilst you're there. There's a bar for the grown-ups and obviously fruit juice and stuff for the kids. And you've got the little arcade area too. And I think that's nice to maybe take a distraction away from it, have one round of bowls, go off, do something else and come back and use the lane again.
Yeah, that's exactly how we like to do it. I actually really like the arcade. I love the machine where it's the piano and you've got to hit it. I'm always on that leaderboard. That's where I'm competitive. With anything to do with music or movement, I'm there.
Before you know it, you'll be creating pop hits whilst enjoying an evening bowling. So have you got much of this planned over the summer break? Is your chance to shine and maybe hone the bowling skills even further?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to visit. I've actually got a trip to the Hollywood Bowl with my girlfriends on a Friday night. So that'd be more interesting, I think, actually. It's funny when True Colours come out with girl pals, they all want to win. But we've got a couple of trips away. We're going to go to Ireland to see the in-laws. And I've got loads of gigs for Liberty X, actually. So I'm keeping very busy. It's very exciting.
Well, it's all good, all going on. So where do we go for more information?
If you head over to hollywoodbowl.co.uk, you can find out all the activities over the summer and find out which is your nearest bowling centre to you.
Check out the details. Have a good time. Meanwhile, Michelle, have a brilliant summer, and we
Thank
expect more great things from you in the not too distant future. I hope. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed that there will be. You can't get rid of me.
Absolutely not. We'll look out for you on the socials. Meanwhile, for now, have a brilliant summer, and I look forward to maybe bumping into you down the bowling.
Never know. Thank you, Jason.
The Summer Flower Festival is underway at the Cotswold Farm Park. Adam Henson is here to tell me more about it. Hello, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
How's it all going?
It's all good, yes, thank you very much. The sun is shining and the flowers have come out in full bloom. The sunflowers are on the edge of bursting into life, but our wildflowers are there looking gorgeous.
Now, we normally know you for your rare breeds rather than your summer blooms. What's going on?
Yeah, so what we've done over the last few years, we now have what we call an events field where we have the sunflowers and wildflowers and our maze open at the moment. We then have potatoes, so you can come and dig your own potatoes, and then pumpkins for Halloween. And we do various events out in a field that's attached to the Cotswold Farm Park. So as part of your ticket price, you can come into the Cotswold Farm Park, but then also go and see what's going on in the events field. Or if you want to just turn up and do the event, you can pay a separate ticket to get into that.
So lots of ways of doing this. And I mean, particularly over the summer months, you're one of the go-to destinations from anywhere, the Midlands and beyond. You're just outside Cheltenham. So it is a wonderful little trip down there and so much to see. And really getting an idea of what farm life is like, not quite like it gets seen on TV. Your reports, yes, but maybe not other people's. And a chance for kids to understand the whole growing cycle and how their food gets to the table.
Indeed, yes. We hope to sort of entertain people so they have a really lovely time, but then go home with some messages as well. So obviously rare breeds conservation is something we've been into since we opened over 50 years ago. But on the wider commercial farm, we're growing crops for food, and then we're also in a higher level stewardship scheme. So we're doing a huge amount for wildlife with pollen and nectar strips, growing wildflowers in our meadows, and then strips of wildflowers to sell the seeds on to other farmers. And so we're hoping that the people that come and visit the Cotswold Farm Park will go into our conservation area, walk around our rare breeds, go into the animal barns, get up close to some of the animals. We've, of course, got a restaurant and a shop. And then our holiday site is becoming really busy, so people can pitch up in their own vans or tents. We've got lodges and safari tents as well for people to stay in. So there's a lot going on. And then the addition to it is our festival field, where you can learn more about food and farming and growing and pollinators and the importance of conservation and wildlife, as well as having a really lovely time. And the selfie stations are really lovely. Your dogs are welcome into the flower festival. So that's great. And also on the farm, we've got a wildlife walk, which is a 2.5-mile walk around the commercial farm, which is beautiful as well. So you can take your dogs on that too.
And then it is those pollinators which are the headline there, aren't they, really? Because it's so important that we're looking after the insects in our world that are pollinating not only flowers, which we enjoy, but also the foods that we like to eat.
Indeed, yes. So when I went to agricultural college many moons ago, we learned how to grow crops and sheep and cattle. But we didn't really learn a lot about the environment. And so over the last 15 or 20 years, there's been a huge amount of work done now how farmers can enhance the wildlife that has been damaged partly by intensification of farming post-World War II. And so there's flower meadows going back in, new dry stone walls, hedging, tree planting. We're doing a lot to manage our soils, reduce the inputs of artificial fertilizers and pesticides, and enhancing our farmland birds. We're doing bird surveys, insect surveys, looking really carefully at what we've got on the farm, because it's such an important part of the British countryside. And for us, with a tourist enterprise, what we want is people to come into the countryside, enjoy what they can see and be part of, whilst learning how we care for it and look after it and produce good quality food.
Yeah, because it's so important to enjoy locally produced food. The fewer miles that these things travel, the better it is. And we've got an amazing world around us here in the Midlands, from where we are in Wolverhampton, right the way down to the bottom end of the Midlands where you are, and then across into Wales as well. And all these areas producing fine quality food. You would hope we wouldn't need to import, but that's still not quite where we're at the moment. But it'd be great if we could get back to being wholly sustainable.
It really would. I think the UK is about 60% self-sufficient, and we really need to think very carefully about food security, and the government does. And as a shopper, the more we can buy locally, the better. The more we can buy British, the better. It's good for food miles, good for the carbon footprint. And in the UK, we have a very tight legislation on the regulation of how we produce food. So that's animal welfare, the environment, employment law, human rights, all those sorts of things. So the less we import from abroad, the better. And as you quite rightly said, you've got this amazing fertile lands down in the sort of Vale of Evesham with strawberries and fruits, up, into the Midlands where you've got amazing orchards, and then of course arable crops and livestock farming, dairy farming, beautiful cheeses, across the UK and particularly in the Midlands area. It's a wonderful, productive part of British farming that, yes, we should be celebrating
And enjoying the flavours from, which is the best bit of it. Absolutely. And obviously you enjoy your work on TV and being able to spread that message that way as well. And I think that this it's just a broad picture that started work with your dad when he got the farm going all those years ago, through yourself, and then onto the next generation.
Yeah, so I'm second generation on the tenanted farm. I work very closely with a business partner, and we've got a great team of people here working with us, so over 100 staff now. And he's got 3 children, and I've got 2, none of which are particularly keen to come home to the family business or to start farming. They're all very interested in it, and they all come and help out during holidays and those sorts of things. They've all graduated from university now and gone off, and they're finding their way in the world. But maybe 1 or 2 of them might decide to come back in the near future. But at the moment, now there's no signs of that. So our farm tenancy and commercial lease on the farm park goes on for another 14 years. But hopefully with our landlord, we'll be able to get an extension sometime in the future. And so we can keep it going.
Well, I say doing amazing work and a great opportunity for something different to come and see, particularly over the summer break. And whilst you have those amazing flowers currently brightening up the festival field, give us all the details on where we find you.
So come to our website at the Cotswold Farm Park website. You can find tickets online, and the best prices are online if you buy in advance. You can buy a flower festival ticket that lasts all summer, so you can come whenever it suits you. And visit our website on the Cotswold Farm Park website, and you'll find us there.
Well, Adam Henson from Cotswold Farm Park, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much indeed. It's been a pleasure.
Now, somebody who brought magic to Masterchef in 2022 is Pookie, through to the final, and here with me now. Hello.
Hello.
Now, you've been down here at Malvern at the Three Counties Food and Drink Festival, having a brilliant time, and getting to share bits of your story and some great cookery tips too.
Yes, I do a lot of that today. So because I've been traveling on the boat in the last 2 months, so I come back with the idea that while I'm traveling through Spain, France, Italy, and Sicily.
Well, because new ideas are always difficult to come up with, and when you're under the pressure of MasterChef, that must have been really quite difficult to do. But who's more judgmental, friends and family or the judges on MasterChef?
I think them both are equally that bad. Like sort of, they are very like sort of constructive criticism that they gave to me.
But obviously you enjoy your cookery. But what really started you off on some of the flavours you like pulling together?
I like to throw the dinner party at home. So I like to show my friend and family when they come to my house to get the impression that I'm trying and the fun, the enjoyment that I'm cooking, and I want to share that fun to them all.
And obviously your food clearly is fun, and that comes across. But you put your personality into all of it as well, don't you?
Oh yes, I try to put my imagination in the dish. So try to create something, because sometimes it's difficult to think of something and then presented it on the plate, and I try to do that.
Now, has there ever been a meal that you've been really, really proud of?
Oh gosh, I like when I made that goldfish because of I did it before the show, but that's just the once in a blue moon that I made it. But then in the show, it was the challenge that you have to do chicken and egg. So I give them fish. And that when the goldfish come out, that just like sort of the dish that I'm very proud.
Oh, and when you come up with an idea like that, I mean, it's almost as if there could be a supermarket range of Pookie dishes as well, couldn't there? I can see that coming in the future. What do you reckon?
Oh, well, if anybody interested in the Pookie range, then let me know.
What have you got planned over the next few months as well? Because I know you've got a lot of festivals over the summer.
Yes, I got quite a few festivals to do, and also I'm still traveling in the Mediterranean, so I'm still going to bring back the journey, the experience, and the flavor from the local area across the Mediterranean and bring back to the UK.
And is that your favourite food of the world, Mediterranean?
I'm going to go around the world.
You can check.
Yeah, so
do
just
the
like,
hard way. Test everything.
Yeah, test everything.
And it's been anything you haven't liked so far, or you just find a great flavour wherever you go?
I don't particularly like black sausage. Black, that.
That's not you.
No.
You want more colour than that, don't you?
Yeah, I like more. I like colorful. I like tasty. I like all sort of things really. But pig blood and the black sausage.
That's not your thing.
No, that's not my thing.
But when it comes to making something like the festival celebrations, I mean, do you enjoy doing meals for Christmas, Easter, and all the others?
Oh, I love that. I love to throw the party like you know before. So I love all of this excitement and the festival and the celebration.
Now, it may be July when we're talking. We're heading into August through the summer. But what would you do for Christmas dinner that would be that bit different?
Oh gosh, probably the taste, the flavor for my traveling. So it will be mixed. The taste from Mediterranean this year.
So a Mediterranean turkey, that would be interesting.
Yeah. So it's just like sort of have to think of something to come up with that. Maybe the combination of East meet West. So not just like sort of Thai meet English, but will be Thai meet French, Spanish, Italian, Greek. So who knows?
And have you got a favourite dessert as well?
Oh, favorite dessert. I quite like cheesecake, but I like to have it in many forms.
Okay, novel cheesecake. So what would be the ideal cheesecake for you?
Well, it's like this morning I just done the tomato in Pookie land. So it's strawberry cheesecake, but in the shape of tomato. So it's no tomato at all. It's all strawberry gel, strawberry puree with the cream cheese that filled with the strawberry as well. So it's fantastic.
So basically you were convincing everyone you were having tomato for breakfast, but actually having cheesecake.
Yeah, exactly.
That is amazing. I love it. Where do we find you on all the socials?
On the social media.
Yeah, Facebook and everything?
Oh yeah, it's been great. I got like sort of quite a lot of followers on Instagram. I try to post my journey, my traveling, my food that I try on the way, and the food that I bring back to the boat and cook it. Because cooking on the boat is slightly different from cooking on land. Well, you're rocking at the, to begin with, and then you just have to be more creative with the limited space, limited ingredient that you can have on the way of traveling. So you have to be like sort of clever with that.
But you have to pick it up fresh, and fresh is what counts, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. And also I cook with using solar power while I'm traveling.
Environmentally friendly food.
Exactly.
That's the way to do it. Pookie, lovely to meet you. Thanks for sharing your tips down here today.
Oh,
I really look forward to seeing you more in the future.
Thank you. Cheers.
Now, Jean-Christofe Novelli has been one of the stars of the stage down here at the Malvern Three Counties Food Festival. And I mean, what is it, 40 years this year since you arrived on these shores?
Yes, 40 years, yeah, exactly. Last April.
And how do you think your food journey's changed since you've been in the UK? Have you sort of developed to the British taste?
Well, yes, I think I keep saying this was the best. That was for sure before the best shows I made in my life. And it's quite ironic because when I first start leaving France, stepping out from Calais, from the docks and going through the custom, I was with a bag and a metal box full of knives. And
I bet that caused some eyebrows to be raised.
No, it was a long queue. You can imagine a long queue. You can see the ferries where the trees are over there 300 years ago away. And I was waiting and waiting slowly, creeping into. That's it. Finally, let you go. And they stopped me They were not very amicable gendarmes. They were just routine things. And with me, they stopped and they were highlighted by my box. They said, what is in that box? I said, knives. He said, knives. So they started calling each other. He said, what do? You work in a circus? I said, no, I'm a chef. He said, you're a chef. You're a chef and you're going to England. I said, yeah. Are you sure? So he went on and on and on about, what I will have to face is the lamb and mint and the red currants and beef and fish fingers. And so basically they managed to let me off. And from that day, everything was on day-to-day a bonus.
Mm-hmm. But you still use the occasional red currant, though, don't you? It's even though
yeah, I do actually. I love lamb and mint too. So what's wrong with that? Of course. But it's amazing how people get the wrong perception, or they very quickly get influence with some. Who are they? Those two people who I mean, if it was a joke, it wasn't. But initially, it was not a joke, and it was an audience. I remember it was on the front of a lot of people say, "Ooh, that chap, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's going to the wrong place." He keeps saying you should go to Italy, Spain, or go back to France. And it's funny because probably that was the best decision of my life. And it's not about that you end up being recognized in your trade or as whatever. It's the fact that I've enjoyed every single day of my life, and I've managed to do one thing and only, which I could not very well, back to my own country, which I love. I love France. I'm always proud to see, but one thing that I could not do, or I was let's call it struggling to do, was is to express myself over there. Where here, even though I did not speak the language, I felt more ease. So imagine with cooking. And yes, effectively, British chefs were not minis, they were not...
Well, in the 80s we had Delia Smith and that was about it, I think, didn't we?
And
So.
Keith Floyd, and, some fantastic people, but what I'm saying, it was not enough British chef excelling or British establishment excelling, unless if you are in London. But it was no wrong with that, because I noticed very quickly there's a lot of little places you can go. You can get some fantastic, some very unusual afternoon teas. How many times I went somewhere and it's proper traditional with the cloth, that little clotted cream next to the, where do you see that? I work in bakeries in France, some of the best bakeries. That was exactly what I wanted, and also this lovely atmosphere, and I love it's natural. Also, how many times I went to a pub and I had a good decent meal, and a good time. I didn't feel rushed or intimidated. It's so. What are we supposed to like?
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do in life? So exactly, you do whatever you feel that your instinct is pushing you to. So the day I took my ticket, a one-way ticket ferry, and I remember when I went to the shop, I saved the money. I was working in Paris at the time, waiting for my employment letter coming from England. And I went to obviously buy my ticket, a one-way ticket ferry. And the chap said, on my way to the door, leaving the shop, he said, "Oh, hey, young man, come back." So yeah, he said, "Do you know if you can have a return for no less than £1 extra?" I said, "No thanks, I don't want to come back." So it's quite funny. I learned that day that you could buy a return nearly cheaper as one way. Anyway, so c'est la vie, and here we are. And it's funny because at first I was like an individual. Of course, when you jump into a country and you learn the language, you know the language is not easy. I mean, it's exciting at first, but I think it's draining, and especially for a lot of people behind me, around me, trying to help me to. And luckily, I always have lots of people, who took time to, even going through top of the pop, traducing the top of the songs and so on. But no, I think what I saw a country of freedom, a country of freedom of expressions, not just in the language, not just on many different things, whatever, if it's art or, styles or, but I saw, as a chef, I saw that it's never been some kind of a dominance over you, some kind of a format, rigid format, where you have to, even if you went to work, and I did work for some not very nice places, there's no ambitions, they were quite happy, and then that's the way they were, and you like it or not, it doesn't matter. They've been going for years, and that's fine. You respect that. It's a business, where there's no lives, there's nothing. But even so, when I work in those type of very average standard establishment, I never felt I was under the thumb of someone trying to make me do something which was a format, and that's been going forever. So it's always room for expressions or creativity, because I've got to say, I have spent less and less and less time as soon as coming to this country to justify myself. So if I was doing vanilla and lobsters, or even something like vanilla and tomato sauce, I don't know, I used to make up things because I was desperate to do better and to succeed and to make a name for myself also. I knew that was the right country to do that.
Well, with the Michelin stars, so you've definitely made a name for yourself.
Yeah, but Michelin came a long time after. Before that, it was equally an exciting time where I was proving myself. I was really trying to push the boundaries. In fact, yes, I was very much as when I started having the stars, moving on one to one and one. So what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if it's a Michelin or not. I mean, it's great. Michelin, what they do is fantastic, of course. And anybody chasing stars or any recognition, I'm respectful. But what I'm trying to say is, when you are by yourself and you see what's going on around you, you understand what's going on. You can see it's not easy. I'm far away, but it's not impossible. I can see the light there.
Yeah.
And what keeps me going is the people who are sitting in my restaurant. Half of them, they don't care, but some of them do care. And that amount of people is enough for me to generate some excitement. How many people used to come in my kitchen, because I never actually went to the restaurant. I was too embarrassed. Not embarrassed, but I did not know how to speak. And also I was shy, I was scared. I could not be doing what the front of house were doing. I was very timid. I mean, in the kitchen I was wild, but in the restaurant I was not. So, how many people used to come in the kitchen and bring me a glass of lager or whatever, wine or whatever? I used to distinguish them by the quality of the drinks. If it's a Petrus, no, of course not a Petrus. So, and then they come back, and you can see, I don't understand what they're saying, but I can see they respect what I'm doing. They are happy. They please is still going. They came a month or 2 weeks before, they come back with new friends, and they're showing off to them friends what they've discovered. It's like they've been to on a new island, on a new territory somewhere, and nobody's been before. So what you do is not that you've discovered and enjoy it. It's the fact that the excitement of passing on that news. I know something which there's none, or we haven't seen that for a long time, or nowhere. And also, I always went to places where it was not very nice. So it was a double effect.
Yeah. Bringing
what the hell is he doing
here?
Yeah, that's right. Is something wrong? Why he should be in London? No, I'm here because I don't know how to go to London, and I'm happy here. You said the local produce from the sea, the land. I end up in a new forest. I end up my first pied à terre was the south of England, and the Isle of Wight, and very quickly I didn't even know where were the I promise you, I just realized when I'm talking to you, I didn't even know when I arrived in the area where I was, one of those areas where pubs were, nightclubs or snooker room or whatever. None. Yeah. But I knew where I could buy garlic. Yeah. That's what that's important. Of a month. Yeah. Sorrels, red count from this. Guinea-fowl from that. Yeah. And so on, games and this and that. Very quickly. It's funny, the life when it's the surviving. So I mean I'm pleased. I'm pleased. I'll do it again. If I did it again, if I was going to do it again, and I wish God allowed me to do that, another 50 years of going. I mean, in 2 years, it's going to be 50 years I've been in a trade.
Yeah.
And I'm delighted that my parents did the most important things to me.
Yeah.
I think we should show everybody. People are not coming because of me. They're
That's
coming
it.
because it's raining.
Yeah.
Do you want to show it? Show it on the camera.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of people suddenly arriving here. Oh, not just there, because we're using that one. We've got quite a few people suddenly
No,
arriving.
they're not coming for me. They're coming because it's raining.
Well, they've been listening to you for a little while and enjoying your talks. So, I mean, obviously, when you're doing something like this, it would be great to be able to get out and actually meet people and talk to them.
You know what? I've been doing festival for on and off 25 years, and I never forgot the first time I did it was in London in 1994 actually, and I never forgotten that how shy and scared, and I don't actually manage. I remember not be able to cook anything because I was like, you know, when you are willing, I'm happy to jump in anything.
Yeah.
But when I came behind the stage and I saw. I mean, it was a lot of chefs,
Yeah.
one after one. So it was quite a big attraction thing. So it was packed of people. And I remember I came out of the curtains. I'm going to bang the stove like I do in my restaurant. I'm going to do the best dish because I want to be the best. Or I want to produce the best. I want to please, actually. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I want to be able to get that satisfaction in her eyes. The real one, not like, yes, it was great. No, it wasn't great enough. I want them to, when they walk, they don't face the door when they walk out of they look back and say, thank you, I come. You know, I want that eyes, that pair of eyes. And I never forgot the amount of people looking at me, staring. And I freezed. I could not cook. I was like, so yes. So you tend to get by and learn, but it's fantastic.
Well, I mean, do you share your pictures on Instagram as well? Food all over Instagram for you?
Yeah, we do. We do as a team. My wife and my personal assistant Nikki, who's fantastic. She's been with us for years now. She's got the flair. She's she doesn't mean what she does, and more things are not very good. For me, I do it automatically, so it's like I take advantage of it, or granted of what I do. Like today, I just did a lovely cauliflower just on my first demo, and when I left, I realized I didn't take a picture of it.
You're in trouble.
No, well, yeah, on Monday they're gonna be giving me my wife and Nikki some borlicons. But when I walked off, I realized it was a nice dish. Sometimes I'm not satisfied because I'm never satisfied. It's never enough. But for some reason, this one was done well. And I mean, we had Chris Baven, who's the host. Yeah, he's special. So it's like talking to your mate, basically. And also, he's a chef too. Very good chef. The prep was done, organized by somebody called Nikki, who also, the team is superb. And so for me, you know, I look at the eyes and I'm still doing what I love doing. And I do back at home or in my restaurant or in my cookery school.
Well, we'll look out for you on the socials. We'll check out where you are over the coming months.
Thank you.
But Jean-Christofe Novelli, thanks for
And listen,
joining
it's
us.
a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
And to everyone,
Thank you.
happy summer.
That's all for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Back with episode 737 next week. I'll see you then. Ta for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.